Welcome back to FM Story. We're about to begin season 15 of the Glory Hunter Save, and thankfully, finally, eventually, in the last episode, we managed to win the Coppa Italia. Now we just have one trophy left to win, and that's the Europa League. So that required us to move away from Juventus. There were a few options that we had that popped up during the summer, so let's find out where we're starting season 15 at. And so we have left Italy. We did get offered the Inter job, but the financial situation there was no transfer budget. They were 100,000 a week already over the wage budget. There wasn't an awful lot of an opportunity to do anything there. So after the Bayer Leverkusen manager left his job, having just won the Bundesliga, Eintracht Frankfurt's manager went to Leverkusen, which opened up the Eintracht Frankfurt job. They're in the Europa League. Last season, they made it to the semi-final of the Europa League, where they were beaten by West Ham. Obviously, the Europa League is going to be tough for this season, knowing that Man City are in it, Tottenham are in it, Inter are in it. But we've gone to Frankfurt. Media prediction 7th. They were 5th last season. We go straight into the league phase of the Europa League. Pretty decent stadium, state-of-the-art training facilities, superb youth facilities. We've got a bit of a transfer budget. We've certainly got more of a transfer budget, much more of a transfer budget than we had, or we would have had at Inter. Whether we stick with the three at the back or not, it was a formation that worked with Juve, just because of how we needed to sort of solidify the middle of the pitch. But we may obviously go back to one of the other formations that we had previously. They want us just to be competitive in the Europa League. But hopefully we can make a challenge in the Europa League this season. If not, we might be moving on somewhere after just one season. But we'll need to see how this season goes. We're approaching our first competitive games of the season, so let's just take a look at what we've done in the summer window. Transfer-wise, I don't think we've sold anyone, or anyone's gone that would have been a first-team player. A lot of players went out before we joined at the end of the contract. We've sold a couple of players on, but none of them were really going to be first-team players. In terms of what we brought in, we didn't have too much of a transfer budget, but we've done a lot of loan deals instead. Firstly, Darko Macicevic, centre-half, coming from Man City, 21, really great physicals and good mentals in terms of leadership and everything like that. He immediately becomes, I think, probably just about our best centre-half. We were then lacking in a left-back, really, so we've gone and brought in Escudinha from Atletico Paranense. 31 years old. He's played for Brazil 8 times and certainly better than anything we had at the club previously. And then another loan player came in, Kazuki Mawatari, defensive midfielder, on loan from Arsenal. He's played 21 times for Japan and he's only 21 as well. Really good technicals. And hopefully he can play a big part for us this season. We then brought in a couple of left wingers because we were a bit weak on that left-hand side. So firstly on loan from Man City, again, Angel Soto, who's done pretty well in pre-season for us. Great physicals, really good with that 20 for determination and the mentals as well. But as he's a young player, we're not looking to totally use just him. Down the left-hand side, we've gone to Aston Villa and picked up Jorge Cicero, Venezuelan nationalist with 38 times for Venezuela at 22. Again, really good physically, some decent mentals as well. And Aston Villa signed him for 28 million as well. So we've got him on a season's loan. And then the last transfer, we went for Matthias Albarracin. Largely to be someone who can play on that right wing. If we do change the formation from what we were planned, he can play in the centre of midfield as well. He's joined after his contract with Liverpool ended. He played 98 league games for Liverpool in sort of 5 or 6 seasons there. So hopefully we've got a really, really decent player on our hands there. Tactically, we need, with the centre forwards we've got, we need to play 2 up top. So we've gone with sort of a 4-2-4 with 2 sort of defensive midfielders, and we'll see how that works as the season starts. Obviously, the only thing that matters this season is the Europa League. We are predicted to finish 8th in the Bundesliga, which, if we don't win a competition or even win the Europa League, would mean we wouldn't qualify for the Europa League for next season. But I'm hoping that we can do better than that. But realistically, the Europa League's the big aim. However, given some of the clubs that are in the Europa League this season, it might be a struggle. So when you look at the Europa League, the teams that go straight into the league phase, you've got Betis, Hertha Berlin, Tottenham, Cologne, Osasuna, Trabzonspor, Lyon, FC20, Benfica, Lille, Man City, Sassuolo and Inter go straight into the league phase of the Europa League. I mean, Man City, Inter, Tottenham would have to be the favourites for that competition, you would imagine. We've made it into the middle of September and it's time for our first game in the Europa League at home against Ludogorets. So far, the season has gone outstandingly well. First up, we won 14-0 in the DFB Pokal. Hat-tricks from Bianchi, Jinsu, couple of goals from young defender Darko Matijevic that we've got on loan from Man City. Just a really professional job. We then hammered St. Pauli 4-1, although it did require a couple of late goals to make the scoreline look a bit better. We then beat Cologne 2-1. And then the Freiburg game, we had Mawatari sent off after less than half an hour. And then with 2-0 up at half time, a couple of goals in the second half, and came away with a 4-1 victory. And then a 2-0 victory in our most recent league game at home against Hertha Berlin. Orlando Quiroga has been outstanding. He's got 6 goals in his last 3 league games. And as far as the league table is concerned, we're the only team with a 100% record. Top of the table, 2 points clear of Leipzig, Hoffenheim, Augsburg and Dortmund. But this season is all about the Europa League. We start with this game against Ludogorets. We also have other games in the Europa League coming up against Trabzonspor, Betis, Maccabi Haifa, Celtic, Anderlecht, Legia and Olympia. So on paper, not too difficult a task. We should definitely qualify for the knockout stages and hopefully we should finish in the top 8 and make it through to the last 16. So this is the side we've got for the first game in the Europa League. And we are playing the 4-2-4 that we effectively showed in when we were looking at everything pre-season. So far, the big plus from this formation has been the front 4. Albarracin on the right, Soto on the left, and Bianchi and Quiroga through the middle have been outstanding. And hopefully they can produce the same form in Europe that they've produced in the league. So 4-2-4 against 5-2-3 or a 3-4-3, however you want to take that one. All right, free kick Bianchi to take it out on the left-hand side, whips it towards the far post. And there's Darko Matijevic on loan from Man City, just 21, rising highest to get another goal. A very early goal as well as far as the Europa League campaign is concerned for us, just at the back post. We had 2 challenging for it. Matijevic gets up highest and gets the goal. Right, Silvera, who we've got on loan from Inter, to Zeze, Mawatari, Bianchi out to Silvera again, Jinsu into Mawatari, Quiroga dropping deeper. Mauriteri to Escudinha, drills it in low, and they've cleared, but Escudinha gets it back again. A wild challenge, but he loses out. But now we've got space. Soto again onto Quiroga, and he was offside. But we certainly look a threat going forward, like we have all season, really. Like Kolev with the throw for them. And we've pressed Soto getting in there. It comes to Escudinha. Plays it into Soto's path. He crosses towards the back post. And it's headed over, and that should have been 2-0. Right, Bianchi with another free kick from the left. Again towards the far post. This time it's Jinsu that gets his head on it. And that is 2-0. And for as attacking as we've been in open play, I mean, he was free the whole time at the back post there. But it's the set pieces that have got the goals for us today. Right, another free kick. Bianchi again. This time low. Into Albarracin. Good finish. 3-0 on the half hour. And we're getting our Europa League campaign off to a great start here. He's free again, unmarked. Rolls it into him. Takes a touch. Swings the left foot at it. And past the keeper. Silveira to Albarracin. Silveira lifts it towards the far post. Soto gets his head on it. The keeper gathers it at the second attempt. And there we are. Half-time, thoroughly dominant first half there. They've not had a single shot. We're 3-0 up. It could be more. Right, we've made one change at half-time. We've brought Aranburu on up front instead of Quiroga. Quiroga didn't have the best of first halves. Aranburu, we signed towards the end of the transfer window when it looked like Bianchi might be leaving. Signed him from Barcelona for a relatively small fee. They've gone along with the goal kick. They've still got it. And now they're attacking down our left. That was far too easy. Escudinha gets back and makes a block. Mauritari into Aranburu, who goes past his, or tries to go past his man. Still going, tries to cut inside, finds Soto, back to Escudinha, and then nothing comes of it. Bit of a weird highlight, that one. Right, so we brought some more fresh legs on, just to see the rest of the game out here. And there we are. We've done a job. Professional, 3-0 victory. Slightly concerned about the lack of shots on target compared to the shots we actually had. They only had one shot in the entire game. We've dominated possession and set a marker for what we expect from the Europa League this season. It's time for our second Europa League game, this time a trip to Trabzonspor. Since the first game, we have played one game in the league. Away at Hamburg, we threw away a 1-0 lead and a 2-1 lead. Ultimately, they got an equaliser in the 96th minute. Not the best performance, and we need to be much better in this game for our first away game in Europe this season. We've gone with the same team that started the first European game. We've had a lot of the ball early on. We just haven't really done anything with it. Right, a throw in for Silveira to Bianchi, back to Silveira. Zeze back to Marcevic. Zeze back to Ernst. It goes out wide. Lovely ball to Silveira. Takes it down well. Still going out to Escudinha, the other fullback on the other side. Soto cross to the back post. I mean, we nearly wasted that one. It was a free header at the back post that went straight at the keeper. Luckily, He parries it straight into the path of Bianchi, and he makes amends and makes it 1-0. So Escudinha and Soto's on the left-hand side. Eventually Soto gets to the byline, crosses to the back post. Albarracin with a header. The keeper parries it. Bianchi fires home for 1-0. And then straight from the kickoff, we've gone out towards the left. Albarracin gets a head on it. And now they're attacking Silveira down their left. Silveira wins it back and brings it clear. Albarracin into Bianchi, who's got level with the edge of the box. Back to Albarracin. Silveira. Jinsu. Dipped, but not enough to trouble the keeper. Albarracin with a corner from the left towards the back post. A powerful header, yet another header at the back post for Matjusevic. Just a deep corner and a really powerful header. Gets up above 4 in the end, in off the underside of the bar, and that's 2-0 just after the half hour. And again, straight from the kickoff, we've managed to get the ball back with Matjusevic. Escudinha into Mawateri. Albarracin turns it on to Bianchi and then makes a run back into the box, but Bianchi squares it, comes all the way through to Angel Soto. That's 2 goals in a minute, and that's 3-0. Once we nicked the ball back, we broke quickly on them. Bianchi gets forward, just low cross. Quiroga was knocked off it by the defender, but Soto was behind him to turn it home for 3-0. And Silveira with the throw. Albarracin. Jinsu crosses towards the back post. Quiroga heads onto the bar and over. Escudinha with the corner. Again towards the far post. And again, Darko Matjusevic at the back post for that in-swinger towards the back post. Gets his second goal of the game. And he is a bit of a cheat code from these corners. Just every time a corner comes to that back post, he seems to get his head on it. Another corner from Escudinha, this time to the near post. Soto onto Albarracin, back to Escudinha. Zeze goes all the way back to Mawatari. Zeze, Jinsu, Silveira, now going on the right hand side. Cross, Quiroga missed an absolute sitter, 6 yards out and he heads it wide. There we are, half time, 4-0. Another dominant performance, and that's just not doing anything stupid in the second half. Right, no changes at half time. Not much happening in the second half so far. They've changed formation. Right, so we made some changes to get some fresh legs on up there. Escudinha with a throw. Soto to the back post. The keeper comes and claims it. And then he goes long. Straight to Zeze. None of their players anywhere near him. Mawatari. Now to Escudinha. Matjusevic to Yuma. Back to Ernst. They're not even pushing up. They've decided that they've lost the game and they're just going to try and stop us scoring too many more, I think. Yuma now bringing it forward. Albarracin goes down the outside, gets past his man pretty easily. Low ball in, and there's Contreras off the bench to add his name to the score sheet, and that's 5-0. Albarracin quickly past his man, just drives forward. Once the other man comes across, Cross takes a nick off him, and a pretty simple finish in the end for Contreras in the middle of the box. Close to being offside, but definitely on. And there we are, full time, 5-0. Yet another dominant performance in the Europa League. 2 from 2, haven't conceded a goal, and long may that continue. And there we are, another episode over. We've started season 15 on fire, having taken over at Frankfurt. We've drawn one game and won every other one in both the League, Cup and the Europa League. Things are going so well that a 21-year-old centre-half that we've got on loan from Man City is our leading goal scorer with 7 goals in 8 games, all of them headers from corners. Things are going outstandingly well. Hopefully that can continue in the next episode. We do have our first real tests as far as the Europa League campaign is concerned. We've got Betis and Celtic up in the next episode. So join us next time to see if we can keep this run going. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.